This was Dan's first time
to Sevenstock.
to Sevenstock, but also being surrounded by many, many rotaries. One in particular that caught Dan by surprise. I'll put it this way. Dan comes up to me, and Dan goes, "That was frightening." So to give you some context, Abel Ibarra brought his RX-8 drag car out, right? And he fired it up into a big crowd. And Dan, Dan had full access, so he's got his camera and his rig out, and he's out there filming it and all that stuff. And it's funny because Dan got video of Bernie, who runs the event, who we had on the show, signaling to everybody, like, "Hey, cover your ears," Dan filmed that, right? But then Dan decides to get closer to the car on the wrong side, the exhaust side, and posts up. And it's a beautiful shot, by the way. We have footage of this.
Yeah.
And he's there, posted up. And what Dan wasn't expecting, because I know Dan's never been around it, is when the car went on the two-step. It goes into it's a supersonic type of effect that happens, and you could literally see it on camera, the shockwave going through.
Yeah, it was wild.
And if you're not expecting it, it can be very jarring, which apparently was for Dan.
It was wild. It was I was standing 2 feet from an engine, and I was going, if something goes wrong with this engine, like if the turbo blows or something, I'm going to die. I'll be dead. Right here, it'll take my head off, because I was literally 2-3 feet away from it.
Boy.
And even Abel and even Bernie were 4 feet, 5 feet from it. So I was right there with the camera like an idiot, of course.
And of course, all the guys were asking me afterwards, "Hey, is Dan okay?" 'Cause no one told him.